That black men who are narcissistic are deliberately trapping black women with babies simply to destroy our lives. Once you have the child, you'll realize he does not love the child, never did. He basically got you pregnant to destroy your life, to hinder your life, and slow you down. Narcissistic men are incredibly insecure. They have a nasty feminine Jezebel spirit, which makes them want to compete with women instead of loving them properly. So in order for him to have one up over you, trapping you with a baby and fucking your life up financially and setting you back guarantees that he'll have the upper hand over you while he rubs his new relationship in your face and breaks your heart, leaving you to take care of a child by yourself. This is called reproductive abuse.
Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi my loves, it's Destin Choice and you're watching Choice TV. So for today's video, I feel like I really had to get on here and talk about
Keke Palmer and the restraining orders she now got on her baby daddy / ex for a lot of situations that we did not expect at all, because most of us thought that Keke Palmer was in a happy, reasonable relationship, especially because she was out here giving relationship advice to people not too long ago.
Because a lot of people don't realize that a lot of what Keke Palmer is going through right now is virtually her karma.
Definitely not the fact that he was putting hands on her, but more so the fact that we saw a lot of red flags in her relationship. The fact that she was the breadwinner in the relationship, the fact that they were laid up in her house and that she was paying for obviously everything because, again, the dude is a script writer, an actor, and a personal trainer. He doesn't really match up to what Keke Palmer would be expected to be with. Considering who she is and everything she's done for herself, being an Academy Award winning actress and being in the industry since she was 8 years old, most people expected more for her. But unfortunately, she went public with somebody that she only dated for about 3 months, had a kid with them within a year into their relationship, and it's really unfortunate how everything is just falling to pieces after she protected him, even though he got a lot of backlash for the whole Usher situation, when Usher was serenading her and giving her a personal little concert up close, and he embarrassed her. She still stood by him, and she still made it seem like she was in a happy relationship. But come to find out, a lot of that was lies.
Now this may sound kind of harsh to a lot of people, but Keke Palmer kind of rubbed me the wrong way when she got on her podcast a couple months ago, before her and her boyfriend first had controversy, that she felt as though that a lot of women realistically need to learn how to compromise and settle.
You guys about get your opinions on, and I know you guys had some stuff too you want to talk to me about, but I'm gonna go first, okay? Let's talk about Gabby and Dwayne. Okay, so just to refresh everybody's memory. So Gabrielle Union a couple of weeks ago, she had spoke about how she and Dwayne go 50-50. Like that's important to her. She feels like, you know, he does this, she does that, and that's how they do it. Yeah. And Dwayne came back out because they're, you know, Gabby actually received some flack about that. And Dwayne comes back and he speaks to it as well. And here's my thing. I grew up in a home, you know, you and Dad, y'all been together for over 30 years. Y'all
35 years.
I remember when y'all both was doing the factory shift together.
That's right.
Y'all have always done everything 50-50. And look, I know her man is rich and this and that, and they've been through a lot and bringing up all their past. And my opinion about that is, like, at the end of the day, if you marry somebody, aren't you guys supposed to be a partnership? And here we are in a generation where everybody's like, no gender rules, no gender rules. But as soon as it gets down to paying something, it's like, he better pay for that. Like, why? I need us to make up our mind. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it just seems like, you know, you start to limit yourself when it comes to that, just thinking at that moment in time as well. It's just like, what if you come across somebody that had like that does everything, but, you know, maybe he wants to do 50-50, or, you know, you make more than him, but it's just like, well, you're going to shut that down because, I
think a lot of people will shut that down. Actually, I think a lot of people do. Because a lot of times people be like, I need this and then, and it's like, girl, but you at the crib with your mama. You know, so I love to match what I've got. Now, that's T right there.
You know what's good? When you find up somebody that loves you, that respects you, that makes you feel good, that enhances your life, screw the money.
That's
you know
how I
what
feel.
I mean? Screw the money.
That's
you know
how
what
I feel.
I mean?
Yeah. That's
you know
how
what
I feel.
I mean?
Yeah.
Keke Palmer basically decided to step in, chime in on a podcast with her boyfriend and baby daddy at the time, and her mother, Sharon. And long story short, they were talking about Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union splitting things 50-50 because Gabrielle Union had a lot less respect for her former partner in the early 2000s when she first went public with her relationship, considering that she was the breadwinner and she made more money. Keke Palmer and her mom, Sharon, and her boyfriend at the time and baby daddy had a lot to say about this, and to be honest with you, A lot of people weren't really feeling what she had to say.
With one person commenting the following: "It's interesting that only black women tend to be so flexible on what a man brings to the table, but then get taken advantage of and feel so defeated if the man tries to leave because they feel like they contributed so much to the relationship. I would never do that again." Also, to say that a woman should have as much as the man she dates in a world where men get paid more and he's supposed to be the provider and potential father/husband is beyond crazy. As a woman in tech with 6 figures, high credit score, financial literacy, and assets, my partner needs to have more than that. Just my take. Good luck though. And now here we are 5 months later finding out that he was a domestic abuser.
As the abuse included striking and grabbing me around the neck and threatening to kill himself with a gun if I left him. Palmer says the abuse has gone on for 2 years. These photos from 2022 show Jackson allegedly manhandling her. She ends up at the bottom of the stairs. She also accuses him of hitting me in front of our son and spewing profanities about me to our son.
Keke Palmer is currently going through a lot of controversy because, as we all know, it has been revealed that her baby daddy and her broke boyfriend, well now ex-boyfriend, has been very severely abusive towards her, such as choking her, slinging her across the couch, putting his hands on her, hitting her in the face, and abusing them in front of their child, and even going as far as saying the most horrible, most heinous things in their child's ears to piss off and agitate Keke, such as telling the baby that Keke is a slut, Keke ain't shit, and Keke can't get anybody else.
Unfortunately, the court documents have been released to the public, and I will leave a link in the description box down below where a lot of you guys can read the full thing, but I'm pretty much going to summarize everything from all the graphic things Keke disclosed and all the problematic things she's gone through in their relationship. Keke stated on February 13, 2022, Darius choked me and body slammed me onto the stairs in my home after becoming violently jealous and irrationally jealous over a bikini photo. Then she also stated, the abuse during our relationship was not just physical, but emotional and manipulative. Darius would love bomb me and make me feel like I was the most important woman in the world, only to get extremely distant and cold over a perceived insult to him if I were at a party or event and I spoke with someone too long or I looked at someone a certain way. He would storm off in a rage, telling me I was a slut and a whore, accuse me of cheating on him and that I did not love him. Darius had a way of gaslighting me to make me feel like I was doing something wrong, even though I wasn't. And the list goes on and gets even worse. During a vacation during Santa Barbara, Keke Palmer also said that Darius one time stormed off, caused an argument during their vacation in Santa Barbara, California, took her prescription glasses and tossed them and stepped on them so that way she wouldn't be able to drive home. Darius, being the control freak that he is, she said that he one time went through her private journals and her private poems that she had written since she was 12 years old, and he virtually destroyed all of them. He went through her private journals and diaries without her permission and got rid of them, and she said that those journals were quote-unquote irreplaceable because she had them since she was 12 years old. But then things get a little bit creepier and a little bit more disturbing. In line 20 of her documents that she submitted in order to get a restraining order in full custody of their son, she stated 2 days ago, so much of Darius' abuse towards me throughout our relationship was based on his insecurity and jealousy that I became extremely concerned when Darius started to express jealousy about the time I was spending with our son. And she's not lying about that, and I'll tell you why. She also said, Darius said very disturbing things to me that caused me to fear for our son's life, such as how he understood why male animals in the wild want to eat their children, and quote unquote, a man's love for his child is based on if he loves the woman. So she also stated Darius would be holding our 8-month son and saying to him how I'm a slut and how I'm a whore and a cunt and much more. This child was definitely used as a way to control Keke. He couldn't control her because she obviously had her own money and a lot going for herself. And you gotta remember, Darius don't really got a job or a career. Darius is a quote-unquote struggle actor, a writer, and Darius is a personal trainer. He definitely doesn't even have a quarter of what Keke has.
And this is the perfect example of why I understand why a lot of women have high-ass standards. In the world of social media, Instagram and TikTok, we're always seeing these public interviews and these disgustingly repetitive podcasts where a lot of women are making it very clear, I'm not trying to fucking settle if I make a lot of money.
How much should your man make in a year?
Can we make it monthly?
Sure.
At least 100K a month.
Isn't that a bit high compared to the average income out there?
Well, if I'm talking about my partner, I don't think so.
Why not?
If I'm making 10K a month, he should be making 10 times more than me. And that kind of puts me in the feminine position, and I view him as the masculine, as the main provider in our family, as we're going to grow, expand our family.
And to be honest with you, a lot of these women are a little bit dramatic, but most of these women are well in their right to want what they want. If you want a man that makes 6 figures, has $1 million, has his own car, own apartment, fancy this, that, and the third, and can take you out on trips and can take you out on dates at least 4 times a week, I completely understand. And I don't think a woman should get shamed for having that standard, because everybody dates what makes sense to them. You know, just like how a lot of these men aren't going to date a big back, you know, linebacker, computer built ass bitch. A lot of these men have these standards of what they want their female or woman to look like at the end of the day. And I respect everybody for having their standards if it's within reason. Of course, we live in the era of Kevin Samuels, and we live in the era where all these non-high value men who were nerds in high school, who probably never gotten in high school, are telling women that they need to humble themselves and they need to settle down. And Keke Palmer is a part of that problem. And now, look what that got her. So for those of you guys who don't know much about Darius Jackson and know much about him and Keke Palmer's relationship, Keke Palmer and Darius met in a party out here in Los Angeles during Memorial Day weekend during the pandemic around the early summer of 2021. And they've been together up until last month. But what was weird about the relationship was a lot of people automatically were kind of shocked that Keke Palmer shared her relationship, because many people felt as though that it was odd that Keke Palmer is going public. Keke Palmer isn't known to go public with a lot of her relationships. She's always kept her relationships under wraps, or has always let people assume or think what they wanted to think. So for a lot of people, it's like, why the fuck are you sharing this person? And automatically, people thought that he was really handsome. People thought he was incredibly handsome, and people were happy for Keke. However, many people automatically thought, what did this man do for work, and why are you sharing him? What is so valuable about this man that you're sharing?
I'm speechless.
Yeah,
What
I'm
was it
speechless,
about
too.
Darius that made you go public with him?
You know, it's so crazy. I'm really, you know, it's so true. I'm really one of those people that very much so keep it on the Beyonce tip of just like, you know, keeping everything low key. I think the reality is just it became more difficult to hide, you know, that. You know, we spend all this time together, and he's really my closest friend. So it just becomes a thing where I'm not gonna hide, you know, something that makes me happy. So it is what it is, you know. It's not gonna be everything you see. My job is my job. Yeah. But at the end of the day, hey, this is somebody that is important to me. So hey, why not?
You're such an excellent person. You command respect. You are driven. What was it about him that you said, okay, this might be my match?
I think it's the authenticity.
Yeah.
I've always been somebody that hasn't wanted too much industry stuff in my life. So he's very industry adjacent, meaning he understands it, but that's not what he's about. And I think that also helps a lot too for the comfortability. But I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It's one of those things where, like I said, it's surprising to me as well. You know what I mean? But I'm 28. Yeah. I'm still learning. So we'll see how it goes.
Let me just say that just from hearing her response, that doesn't sound right. Hearing her say, well, it's authenticity. He's authentic. Let's see how it goes. Something tells me that it was his idea to go public, because she doesn't seem like she's really like on about the fact that she's public and everyone is in her business now.
Yeah, right, Keke. You were getting dicked down really good, and that's why you decided to share this man out of all your mans. He made you feel good, and he dicked you down really nice compared to all the men you've been with, and that's why you shared him. You know, they got together during the pandemic, and he's a personal trainer, which is odd because in my head, I thought gyms were closed during COVID. On top of that, he was also a writer and an actor. Aren't we currently going through a writers and actors strike, or we're going through a writers and actors strike? What does he really do for work? You know, there were a lot of red flags that a lot of people noticed, but of course, most people who love Keke felt as though that she had a wise head on her shoulders and thought, well, she must not be going through it that bad. He must not be that bad. Because if someone like Keke Palmer found him interesting, he must be amazing, right? Wrong again. Come to find out, this man was abusing her and mistreating her. And what's really odd is a lot of people really side-eyed Keke, even though they were happy for her, when she got pregnant with this man. Keke Palmer got pregnant with this man when she was only 1.5 years into the relationship, which for a lot of people was like, wait, huh? Why are you getting pregnant with someone that you're only 1.5 years in a relationship with, and you're not even married to them? Keke Palmer is a very religious woman, and she's always made it clear that she wanted to be a wife and have a good amount of kids and a successful career. Why did she settle for a man that only wanted to be her boyfriend, who doesn't have half or even a quarter of what she has? But of course, when you see red flags in your friends or cousins or relatives' relationships, the best thing you can do is just keep your fucking mouth shut and just support people from a distance. Because at the end of the day, even though you may see red flags, you have to let that person see for their own. Because sometimes these women are getting dicked down so fucking good that they don't see the flaws that you see. Or sometimes these women are just madly in love that they don't see the things that might end up being a red flag later on in the relationship. And sometimes the relationship works, and most times it unfortunately doesn't. Now, one of the many red flags that I saw in their relationship was the fact that Darius was out here saying some really problematic things in a podcast. Now, before they had their public breakup that now manifested into this,
several months ago, Keke Palmer's baby daddy and ex did a podcast, and he was asked how he felt about the pregnancy and the pressure of what it was like dating someone like Keke. Now, one thing he did address is he did find it very intimidating how he got a really mixed reaction from the public when he started dating Keke. But one thing that he pointed out that really rubbed me the wrong way is how he said that he was jealous of their son having all of Keke's time and energy. Now, check this out and definitely let me know what y'all think, because I thought this was a big red flag.
The interesting part about it, this is just from me, from a boy's perspective.
Yeah.
You know, I could only really feel so much. You know,
Of course.
you know, his lovely mama. She was connected with him all the time. She was attached. You know what I mean? She felt him the whole entire time. So I was almost a bit jealous.
Oh.
I was almost a bit jealous on how much they were sharing together, because I'm like, dang, I could only just see him be kicking here and there and see the belly just grow every now and then. So it was just like, okay, I guess I'll just wait till he gets here.
That's so crazy. I've never heard that perspective before.
Yeah, so I was a bit jealous just seeing their bond and connection throughout, you know, the whole entire pregnancy. And then
this grown-ass man in his 30s is jealous of an unborn baby that's in a woman's womb that he helped create. Yeah, this isn't going to turn into anything good. Even though it sounds like something cute and petty, that's automatically a red flag. It's always the little things that you have to pay attention to, especially because it'll eventually manifest into more things. Because if somebody can be jealous of something so little and so small like that, imagine what else they'll be jealous, self-conscious, and insecure about. You know, it's a little thing that you always gotta pay attention to. If someone shows you any little sign that they're jealous of any little thing you have and there's somebody really close to you, you automatically have to take a mental note, or you have to proceed with caution, because it can manifest into other things. Especially because society puts so much pressure on men to automatically lead, guide, be super rich, be super successful in order to build and start a family.
And clearly this isn't a good look, because let's not forget about the fact that Keke Palmer wore a very salacious and inappropriate outfit just a few months ago, right before they did the little podcast about settling, and right before all this controversy of him being a domestic abuser resurfaced. Look at how Keke was all hugged up with Usher when Usher was performing in Vegas. And remember when her man got upset several months ago saying, "That outfit though, you a mom." And the whole world basically dragged him and was very angry at him because he brought a personal matter onto the internet. Yeah, this is problematic, and to be honest with you, this is when a lot of her fans were warning her about him, and unfortunately they still stayed together because he was posted up with her a few days later for her birthday, her 30th birthday. He was posted up with her. Keke Palmer capitalized off the controversy. She made a song with Usher. She tried to monetize the whole "I'm a mother" situation, and everyone thought that Keke Palmer was pretty much over it.
I'm so tired. I'm a mother, after all.
This man was abusing her, mistreating her, telling her she wasn't shit. He even tore up her diaries. He was going through her phone. There were moments where he was apparently recording her during arguments, which leads me to believe that he had intentions of trying to destroy her image in the long haul. It's ironic because this is the same woman that tried to tell all these women to settle. Meanwhile, if any of y'all listen to Keke, y'all would have got y'all asses knocked just for listening to her ass, because Keke Palmer is in an unhappy relationship with someone who she claims in court documents is jealous of her success and jealous of what she has. That's why her man was probably being possessive and controlling, because Keke Palmer is a very friendly person. Keke Palmer is a very open person, and a lot of people in Hollywood have a lot of access to her. So on top of that, because she's the breadwinner, because she pays majority of the bills, because this grown-ass child is living up in her house, obviously she probably does what she wants, talks to him how she wants, and it probably drove him fucking insane. he's going to have a lot of insecurity and a lot of built-up resentment. And it's unfortunate because many people feel as though that Keke Palmer is a victim of reproductive abuse. Now, most of us have heard the term reproductive abuse, but many people don't really like to go deep into it. So reproductive abuse is when a man or a woman purposely decides to have a child with their partner just so they can control them and keep them attached. And a lot of people feel as though that Keke Palmer is a victim of reproductive abuse because it's funny how this man made it very clear that he was jealous of their newborn baby, that his unborn baby had with Keke, and also noticed the fact that he had a baby with Keke within a year into their relationship, didn't marry her, but was willing to impregnate her. That tells you everything you need to know. Clearly, this man was purposely impregnating her just so he can control her and he can have a reason to lead. How can he lead his girlfriend who he wants to settle down with, but he's not paying for anything? Oh wait, he has an idea. I can just get her pregnant, control her, leave the household, and now that we have a kid together, I have an excuse to lead as a father. Boom. Now she's trapped. And hearing that he was whispering all these heinous things in their child's ears, saying things such as, your mom can't get anyone else, your mom's a slut, your mom is this, your mom is that. That tells me that he was already going through her phone, or probably felt as though that she probably had a lot of dudes in her phone, or she probably had a lot of times where she was probably cheating because she wasn't happy in the relationship, and she probably tried to leave him numerous times for a dude who was wealthier and had more of his shit together.
That black men who are narcissistic are deliberately trapping black women with babies simply to destroy our lives. Once you have the child, you'll realize he does not love the child, never did. He basically got you pregnant to destroy your life, to hinder your life, and slow you down. Narcissistic men are incredibly insecure. They have a nasty feminine Jezebel spirit, which makes them want to compete with women instead of loving them properly. So in order for him to have one up over you, trapping you with a baby and fucking your life up financially and setting you back guarantees that he'll have the upper hand over you while he rubs his new relationship in your face and breaks your heart, leaving you to take care of a child by yourself. This is called reproductive abuse.
He wanted a way to obviously control her and manipulate her. And it's really sad because Keke Palmer is trapped. It's sad because now she has to deal with this man for probably the rest of her life because she now has an 8-month child with him. And it's crazy because her mother even said in a post that she saw him for who he was since day one. And now Keke Palmer is seeing him for who he truly is. And she can't really leave him alone because now there's going to be a custody battle.
And not to get too much off a subject, but I wanted to briefly discuss even Halle Bailey. So as we all know, there's been ongoing rumors of Halle Bailey being pregnant by the YouTube rapper DDD or DVD or DDG, whatever his name is. And a lot of people feel some type of way about the fact that she's even giving this dude a chance by even having his kid, which she hasn't even confirmed her pregnancy, but it's been very obvious because she's been seen wearing a lot of baggy clothes, looking a lot whiter, and her stomach looking a lot bigger. So it's fairly obvious she's pregnant. However, many people think that Halle unfortunately is settling because he doesn't even have a quarter of the kind of success she has. Many people know that Halle Bailey and DDG have been together for at least a year. And the fact that they've been together for a year and some change and she's not married and she's a stellar black actress in Hollywood, a lot of people feel some type of way. A lot of people feel as though that she's throwing her whole career away getting pregnant by this dude who's a YouTube rapper, who has his own money and his own success, and he has like one big billboard hit. But people wonder, why is she settling for this dude when she's at the height of her career? You know, she's fucking Ariel from Little Mermaid in the first ever live action film. She made history, you know? Why did she settle for him? And the truth is, she's obviously getting dicked down really good. This dude obviously makes her happy. But the problem is, he obviously knows that she's a huge catch. Everywhere they go, people are constantly taking pictures of her. People don't go around following and taking photos of him like that, but they're obsessed with seeing her. And if they're together, more people want to take photos of her because people romanticize celebrity relationships. So many people feel as though this may be a situation where now he's forever going to be immersed with her brand, and whatever success and growth she gets in her brand, that's going to automatically rub off on him. So people kind of feel some type of way because people see Halle as being used as a pawn for status. He may actually care about her and love her.
I am so proud of you and the person you are and the man you are, and we all here just love you so very much.
Speak for yourself.
But I think he loves and respects the idea of her more than he actually does her. We don't really know much about their relationship, but a lot of people have seen red flags. But Halle Bailey and DDG's relationship is a whole other video within itself. People just have a hard time accepting that a lot of these fly-ass, super successful women are settling and they're being dumped with babies with these men that are never going to marry them. And then there's Queef Naja and Clearance. So if you guys didn't know, Clearance, also known as Clout Bear, also known as Clearance Rack, a lot of people have side-eyed their relationship since the beginning of them being together. Now, we all know the story of Queen Naja, and if those of y'all who don't know the story of Queen Naja, that's a long story, another video within itself. But we know Queen Naja came up during a time where she was in a public, successful YouTube relationship that went downhill after her man cheated on her, and Clearance came in to save the day. But of course, Clearance got her pregnant within a year of their relationship, maybe even less than that. And just to find out, Queen is at the height of her career. She's over here getting nominated for so many awards. She's at the top of her game. And then Clearance impregnates her. And still to this day, after 5 years, a lot of people kind of side-eye the fact that they still haven't gotten married yet, but they have a kid together. And then there's been a ton of rumors of this man cheating on her. And, you know, even her ex has gone out saying a lot of crazy rumors of, you know, things that he's heard. And the fact that Queen has called him back and told him all the crazy stuff Clearance has done and how she's the breadwinner and Clearance just sit on camera making YouTube videos but don't want to do more of his life because he's so comfortable with shit. It's just, you know, a lot of people kind of look at Queen and they're just like, why? Like, why settle with this guy? Is it because you already built something with him and it takes too much to leave?
And now it's going to be difficult for her to get back into dating because her child is going to take most of her time. On top of that, she's going to be stuck at home raising that child as a single mother because everyone knows that the court always takes the mother's side. And the mother always ends up being stuck with the child. And now, a lot of dudes aren't going to want to deal with her because they don't want to deal with a crazy-ass baby daddy like this guy. So Keke Palmer is not going to have an easy time dating anymore. Her value, just like Kevin Samuels said, simply just depleted because now you have a kid and you have a kid with someone who is abusive and crazy. And it's unfortunate all this has to play out publicly because I feel really bad for that child. I feel a little bit bad for Keke Palmer because this is embarrassing for her image because she has movies coming out, she's an actress, she's still working to this day, and now a lot of what's going on is going to constantly overshadow her work. Keke Palmer has done a very good job staying silent, staying out of the public eye, and doing everything she can to keep people out of her business. And now this whole court thing is going to play out in the public because it's made mainstream news because she decided to settle. And this is why you always date what makes sense to you and you don't listen to anybody else about what you should date. If you want to date someone that makes less than you, go for it. Have fun. But don't be like Keke and tell women that they're being dramatic if they want so much out of a man. Don't be Keke. You don't want to be this person. This is what happens when you're a pygmisha. You end up in situations like this. And I do feel bad for that child more than I feel bad for anybody because that child's going to suffer the most, especially considering his mother's a public figure. And all this is going to be on the internet and public information for the rest of that child's life. People should like, comment, subscribe. Give your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And yeah, that's that. This rice is taking forever to cook. Choice out this bitch.
You will always be, I say, fire to the rain, watch it burn, I right away, in this turn, and I say, fire to the rain, watch it burn,